So what am I doing? Something that takes a little bit of elbow grease here. And a lot of time. And you need a well ventilation area. That's why I have both the doors open here on the old 65 Ford truck. And if you guys remember, these floors were rotted out pretty bad right here. And this is where we left off. That's as far as I got fixing the floors. Fiberglassed them in. And that was a while ago. So now what we're doing is this. This is where I pulled the gas tank out from behind the seat. And we're prepping this so I can paint it. Not so much for looks, but to get rid of this surface rust and to keep it from coming back. I have a plan in mind to do this a certain way, but right now it's more important that we get this up and running. So I'm one of these guys that I do what I have to do at the minute, and then I usually go back over things. Some guys don't like doing that. They'll just, no, I'm doing it the first time and I'm doing it right the first time. And that's good if you can do that. I'm in kind of a time situation here, so something is better than nothing. Some rust removal and some fresh paint down is better than just leaving it. So later on I'll pull the seats back out, get the rust kills, PC90, whatever we have here, whatever it's called. Adam uses a certain kind. One he likes, one he doesn't. I forgot what one it is. We had the stuff back in the day that we used that was excellent. And the reason I know it's excellent because I used it on a car back in 1992, I believe. And it's still good to this day. But I don't know if I can find that old stuff anymore because it seems like they make it where the things they do today just aren't like they were back then. Even if you buy the same brand, something, they've taken the additives out and all that. You guys know, I don't have to tell you. Anybody does any kind of cleaning, prepping, anything that all to do with something that has a chemical base to it, painting or anything, they've heard it. Make it pure and simple. Very rarely do you find something today that works like it did 20 or 30 years ago. So anyway, that's where we're at. I might as well show you guys this while I'm here. Let me give you a quick look here. This takes a long time, believe it or not. And another thing I wanted to show you guys is that I took the gas tank out from behind the seat, as you know, and I don't know if you guys can imagine how big that tank actually is. I was surprised myself when I carried it out back. And when I stood it up one end, that thing was almost as tall as me. So that kind of caught me off guard. So just thought I'd mention that in case somebody don't realize how much room that took up. And the reason I took the tank out from behind the seats, in case you guys didn't see the other video, I don't like a full tank of fuel behind me where I sit. That's a fire hazard. I know people that actually had gotten hurt very bad like that. Heard stories of people actually dying because the fuel tank, if you got hit in the side, it would make the hose come off on the side and spray fuel on the driver. I've told that story, but this is just an update on that. And plus, when these trucks get older, you always smell that where you put the filler neck is right there. You always smell that, even if it doesn't have a bad neck on it or anything, because that's right where you put the fuel in, right where you sit. So you're always going to get a little bit of fumes off of that. But anyway, I'll show you what my son did for me. Last time you saw this thing, it had pretty flat tires. Adam got me new tires, him and my friend Mike Vazzello, our friend Mike Vazzello. And thank you, Mike. And yeah, it's up on 4 hard tires now, fellas. So I have some more rust to take care of here, as you can see. So there's a lot of elbow grease work in this truck that I still need to do, and it's going to be a while. This stuff is most time consuming, so as future plans, I'm trying to plan things out how I want this as I go to, instead of standing there staring for 5 or 10 minutes on each decision I make. I'm trying to think ahead a little bit, and that kind of helps you know what to do when you get there if you think about it beforehand. One thing I have to do is decide what shifter I want to go with. This one here is actually the more common sense shifter. I think this one here will be very cool in the truck. And this is really kind of what I'm leaning to. I think Adam would rather see me go with this one, and it may wind up being this one. And you know what? It's a shifter. If I don't like it, I'll change it. So that's what I say. I'll redo things if I have to. But that's where we're at, fellas. I'm not getting a whole lot done, but some of this stuff takes time. And I could have just not worried about this. Put the seats in. I got to make a shim for the seat. The seat I put in here and tried it, and it sits a tad bit crooked. Not terrible, but I don't like it. So I got to make a shim to go underneath the bottom right here. I'll get there one of these days, fellas. Hang on. I had to flip that over. It's a little bit awkward out here. So I got to raise this up a little bit right here. About that much. About an inch. So I know some people would say I wouldn't worry about an inch, Terry. We're comfortable. I at least want that to be right. I want it to be where you look in the truck and it don't look like it has crooked seats in it and make you feel a little bit awkward. And the thing is, I have to think about this. I might not be the only one driving this truck, so I try to think of somebody else's not feeling awkward if they were to jump in here and run this truck down the track or drive it normally or normal, whatever it would be. I want to show you guys this too. I don't know what happened here, but it has a hole that I have to patch. So that doesn't really hurt much, but fumes will come up in there, being my exhaust will probably be around that area. I don't know if I'm going to use pipes to go out the side yet, or if I'm going out to the front. I might do that. That's kind of my way of thinking right now. I'm undecided, but like I said, try to make a plan as I go here. Even the exhaust, trying to think how I want it to go. I think I might just go back, straight back to the cab, and then go out the sides right here. That's what I did before with my old truck that was like this. And but we'll see. Maybe I'll change her up. Maybe we'll go bullhorned out the front. Sometimes it comes down to whatever you can do as far as material and money. I know I'd be getting a little bit more done if I had a little bit of money. So just do and pick and choose your battles when you're low on funds. If you can't do one thing, you do another. And that's why I'm doing this right here, right now. I just took the valve out of my head inside for the 460 engine that's going in this truck. And I'm going to see a friend of mine to see if he can get me a valve. Because we had problems with that. I thought I was good to go over a month ago with that. Somebody was doing that for me. And for some reason there's a hold up on that. between people being sick, going to work. It was ordered, then it was the wrong valve when they got it or something like that. So I'm going to go see a guy I'm friends with and see if he can hook me up with that. So we'll see how that goes. That's my plan for tomorrow, but we'll see if I make it there tomorrow, because that's what usually happens with me. Say I'm doing something, then something else comes up. I think we all experience that. It's called life. But anyway, I appreciate you guys being interested in this. We have a few things here going on, quite a bit. I'll give you a quick walk around here, let you get an idea. This is kind of what we have on our plate. That don't run. This don't run right this minute. Adam has this ripped down. This is not running right now, as you know. The old 55. And that runs, but I think something's up with that, with the trans or something. But we have a lot going on here. And then there's a few little things that Adam's trying to get done inside the garage there, which I'll be talking more about that later as soon as things settle down a little bit and I know more what direction we're going with that. If you want an idea what I'm talking about, go over to Adam's channel, and we have something in the future plans here. We're still trying to work it out, and we're just trying to make a plan for our future race, and we have to kind of be careful because we want to make sure we don't say more than we're able to do. We see people talk about certain things on YouTube and then it doesn't happen, and we do not want to do that, but we have a plan, and that's all I can really say. Go to Adam's channel, and he asked you guys to help him out there. If you could do that, he asked for you guys to kind of hit the little button for him, and he'll explain why in that video. And a lot of you guys that watch me already know where I'm going with this, but it has something to do. Oh, I'll talk in a minute. I have all this dust from all that sanding. That's a lot of dust, guys. I should be wearing a mask, but it makes me sweat too much when I do. So I just try to get my head out of there when I sweep it out and go back in, but it still gets in your mouth. But anyway, here, guys, I'll show you. This is going back together, the old green gangster. So it's been sitting a long time, the engine in my car, not doing much. My car had a lot of problems with it. It was veering over real bad when I ran somebody. I had a grudge race with somebody and it went in the other lane when I hit third. And people think that's from your driving ability. When you see that happen, most of the time, guy whack in third gear because they cut the wheel. Not in the case. Not when you see my car on YouTube and it veers over. That's not what that's about. I have my arm locked out on the armrest with tight, not turning the wheel at all. The car is actually steering itself over my coupe. And we think it has to do with what Adam had talked about a while back. I decided I wanted the softer bushings in my rear. He tried to talk me out of that, and I was like, no, I want the car, I don't want it all creaky and this and that. It's not a race car. But sometimes when you're making a little bit of power, you need to just upgrade and just go with the race stuff. And I think that's what the problem. I think the rear is twisting when I shift. And my friend actually thinks the rear looks like it may be bent. And it wouldn't just veer, it would be like this here, all the way down the track. So I thought I'd give you a little description on that. So the engine belongs back in here, and it's just been sitting. That's the worst thing could possibly happen to an engine. Just sit with everything just sitting there. The valve springs down on one spot for a year, however long it's been, probably about a year. And so that motor belongs back in this car. So a couple little updates on some things here. And this little car right here, I need to do a video about this little black car, because this thing started it all, in my opinion. Well, they both did, but this car here, I have two names I call that little black car right there. Little Awesome, which is the wholesome name, and then Little Nasty. That car right there really gave people a very hard time and made some hurt feelings with a stock setup. We've always had stock setups, basically. I mean, when you say stock setup, I mean stock 100% stock pistons. The way the engine come out of one car, we get the engine, put it in another car, put our spin on it, and that's how it goes. And we don't use anybody's special camshafts. I'm kind of mentioned that in this little video. He didn't say no names, but you guys that watch YouTube, you'll know what I'm talking about. We don't need anybody's help when it comes to camshaft picking or anything like that. We just do our own little thing, and seems like it works out. So if I sound a little bit of sarcasm there, it's because I kind of get a little tired of hearing like you guys are picking the wrong cam all the time, and maybe you can tell me that when you've gone as fast as we have with what you guys do on them big channels where you're putting all that information out there. When you go single digits with a stock 302, let me know what cam you used. Maybe I'll try it. Till then, we'll pick our shelf cam and go with it. So anyway, the racing brings out the animal in me. That's all I can say. I'm usually meek and mild, but when it comes to racing, I'm a little wild. So I kind of miss the old days when you could actually call somebody out and they didn't get offended and do a whole YouTube video about it and saying, how dare that guy call me out, like one of the guys did on YouTube. So anyway, I think you guys know where I'm coming from with that. Anybody that races, you know what it's like to call somebody out, and you can call your friends out back in the day even, and you'd wind up two ways. It would be hurt feelings, or you'd be a good laugh. I had one friend I could race and we'd laugh and never got in the way, and another friend, he would he'd quit talking to you for a while till he calmed down if you beat him. That's how it goes in life. But anyway, fellas, that's where we're at. And this video is a little longer than I thought. There's a lot going on, like I said. But as you can see, so you know I'm not just telling you guys a bunch of stuff here. That's a different motor in that green car, blah, blah, blah. There she is. It's out of my car. Car's sitting all high in the front. And I have a future plans for this. This may be doing something to show you guys how fast you can go with a bone stock engine. And maybe we'll even do a sleeper setup in this. It will be modified stock. Maybe we'll do that. I'm gonna decide, see how things go, and you get kind of overwhelmed trying to do too much here. But before we do anything to make it fast, gotta get the rear straightened out. So this here is on the back burner for sure right now, and it's been on the back burner. This car never had a fair shake because all it did is go out of the driveway, run somebody, and come back in the driveway. It's never really got tested. Took it to the track maybe a couple times, and the times it's been at the track, you guys can actually see that on YouTube 2 or 3 times. That's all it's been, and it never did real well. On 7 cylinders one time, the ignition box wasn't working right, so the car is always half second to a second slower in this car, and didn't have a whole lot of steam to it. And it's not the car's fault. That's just didn't have the good ignition, and it just got shoved in at what we had and stuff laid around in the garage. And it still worked, but it wasn't up to par, evidently. And who knows, if somebody could have put this car together and went 11 O's or whatever, and thinking that's fast, and not realizing that it's capable of going 1050s. So that's why I wanted to show you about this, or tell you rather about this, because people make that mistake. They go 11, it's like, wow, how fast you want it to go? I think it's got more left. No, your buddy will say, that thing's maxed out. You kidding me? That's what we were told about the green car. And the green car still had, me and Adam talked about it, still had probably 3 or 4 temps left on it. Finagling with stuff. So anyway, sorry this is longer than I thought it would be, this video. But I want to thank you guys for checking us out and seeing what we're up to. I appreciate it a lot. And like I said, I have a lot to do to this truck. Just things I want a certain way, and what I can't get done the way that I want, it'll get done another way. I'm gonna try to have fun doing it, not be pressured so much about, oh, it's not how I want. That's the easy thing to do. Oh, I'm not gonna bother. It's not how I want it to be. I'm not even gonna bother with it. I get like that sometimes, and that is the wrong way of thinking. I think we just have to thank God for what we have and do the best with it. So, with that, guys, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Peak. And we'll see if we can get this old truck up and running here in the next few months. That's our plan. I was hoping to have it up and running by now, actually. And if you really want to get technical, this was supposed to be up and running 2 months after Adam got this for me. 2 years ago or 3, whatever it's been. But things just don't always go how you want. So thank you for stopping in, and keep watching. You're gonna see a little bit going on around here, I think, and I hope. God bless you, everybody. Take care.